Tesla just got hit with the one thing Elon Musk has feared for years. In March 2025, China's BYD unveiled a technology so advanced, experts are calling it the Tesla killer. A car that can travel over 2,000 kilometers on a single tank and charge, for less than half the price of a Model 3. And here's the real shock, it's not coming someday. It's already here. In March 2025, BYD made a move that turned the entire auto industry upside down. The company unveiled its fifth-generation DMI hybrid system, a piece of technology that's not just an upgrade, it's a complete redefinition of what a hybrid can do. For years, hybrids were seen as a temporary fix, a stepping stone toward fully electric cars. But BYD just flipped that narrative on its head. The numbers alone are staggering. This new system delivers a thermal efficiency of 46%, one of the highest ever achieved in a passenger car. To put that in perspective, most modern engines hover between 30 and 40%. That means BYD's hybrid squeezes more power from every single drop of fuel, cutting waste and slashing emissions. But efficiency isn't even the headline. The real shock is the range. With a full tank and a charged battery, BYD's hybrids can travel up to 2,100 kilometers without stopping. That's New York to Miami and back again, on one fill-up. Not even Tesla's most advanced models can come close to that figure. This is why analysts are calling it a game-changer. Toyota may have pioneered hybrid technology, but BYD's latest system makes it look outdated. And Tesla, the supposed leader of the EV revolution, suddenly finds itself on the defensive. But numbers only tell part of the story, because what's hidden inside this system is even more important. So, what exactly makes BYD's fifth-generation DMI system such a threat to the competition? It's not just one breakthrough, it's a combination of smart engineering that puts rivals years behind. At its core is a dedicated 1.5-liter turbocharged engine paired with BYD's Blade battery, a design that's safer, longer-lasting, and less prone to overheating than traditional batteries. This combo means the car isn't just powerful, it's also incredibly reliable. Then there's the fuel economy. When the battery runs low, the system sips just 2.9 liters per 100 kilometers, numbers so efficient they almost sound unreal. Compare that to most hybrids or petrol cars, and BYD is in a league of its own. And while most automakers still rely on traditional silicon chips, BYD has gone a step further, integrating cutting-edge silicon carbide power chips. That's tech usually reserved for high-end electric cars, but here it's being packed into hybrids that cost less than many standard gasoline vehicles. In short, this isn't just about making hybrids cleaner. It's about making them smarter, faster, and more affordable, all at once. But BYD didn't stop with the engine. They built entire cars around this system that are already shaking up the market. BYD didn't just announce a new engine, they dropped an entire lineup built around it. The Qin L and the Seal 06 are the two stars of this rollout, and they're already causing waves across China. Both cars were designed to look sharp, modern, and futuristic, but the real shocker isn't the design. It's the price tag. These cars start at just $13,800. To put that in perspective, that's less than half the price of a Tesla Model 3, and cheaper than many compact gas cars still being sold today. And don't mistake them for budget boxes. The Qin L offers over 1,800 kilometers of range, while the Seal 06 can hit 2,100 kilometers. These are numbers no Western automaker has been able to match, not even close. Inside, BYD packed them with the kinds of features you'd expect from cars that cost 3 times as much. Massive touchscreens, voice control, advanced safety systems, and the smooth, quiet ride that EV drivers crave. And because they're hybrids, you never worry about being stranded with a dead battery. The system seamlessly switches to gasoline when needed, giving you the best of both worlds. But here's the kicker, BYD isn't just making these cars for China. Their next target is much bigger. For years, Tesla's dominance came from its grip on global markets outside of China. Europe, the US, and parts of Asia were considered Musk territory. But BYD has been quietly planning a move that could flip that balance. Their strategy? Target the very markets Tesla depends on for profits. BYD has already expanded aggressively into Thailand, Brazil, and Hungary, and now they're eyeing Europe and Latin America as their next battlegrounds. In fact, BYD's new plant in Hungary will give them a direct gateway into the European Union, bypassing import tariffs that would normally slow them down. And here's where Tesla's weakness shows. Elon Musk's lineup has been criticized for being too expensive and too narrow. BYD, on the other hand, is flooding the market with choices: compact hybrids, family sedans, SUVs, even luxury models. If Tesla is Apple, BYD is starting to look like Android: cheaper, more versatile, and everywhere. Even worse for Tesla, BYD's government backing gives them an advantage Musk simply can't match. China is heavily subsidizing EV and hybrid development, which means BYD can afford to sell their cars at razor-thin margins while still expanding globally. And if that wasn't enough, recent reports suggest BYD is working on partnerships with foreign carmakers desperate to survive in the EV transition. That could mean BYD technology appearing in cars sold under completely different brand names. But Tesla isn't going down without a fight. Elon Musk knows exactly what's at stake. If BYD keeps expanding at this pace, Tesla could lose its grip on the EV crown within just a few years. And Musk isn't the type to sit quietly. In response, Tesla has doubled down on what it does best: innovation and speed. Musk has been teasing the long-awaited $25,000 Tesla, a car designed to crush low-cost competitors. If it actually hits that price point, it could rewrite the rules of the EV game. Tesla is also racing to expand its gigafactories, with new facilities planned in Mexico and potentially India, two regions where BYD is already gaining influence. Musk knows Tesla has to build faster, cheaper, and closer to the markets that BYD is targeting. And then there's the software angle. While BYD's cars are packed with hardware and range, Tesla still leads in self-driving technology. Musk is betting big on full self-driving becoming the ultimate game-changer, a feature BYD hasn't mastered yet. If Tesla can perfect it first, that might be the advantage that keeps them ahead. But the challenge is real. BYD's hybrids aren't just competing on price, they're changing the rules of the market. And even Tesla's most loyal fans are starting to ask, will the brand be able to keep up? Because what happens next might decide who dominates the car industry for the next decade. This fight between Tesla and BYD isn't just about two car companies. It's about the future of global energy, technology, and influence. Whoever wins this race will shape the way billions of people drive, commute, and power their lives for decades. Think about it, cars are no longer just machines with wheels. They're rolling computers, tied directly to the supply chain for batteries, rare earth metals, and advanced chips. And right now China, with BYD at the front, controls much of that supply. That gives them an edge that's about more than cars. It's about geopolitics. For the United States, Tesla has been the shining star of innovation, proving that America could lead in the EV revolution. But BYD is proving that China isn't just catching up, it's pulling ahead. The outcome of this rivalry could decide whether the EV industry remains balanced or tilts heavily toward one side of the globe. And there's another layer, the environmental impact. BYD's hybrids are making electric technology accessible to millions who can't afford a Tesla. More adoption means fewer gas cars on the road, and that changes the climate conversation entirely. So this isn't just Tesla versus BYD. It's the West versus the East. It's high-end innovation versus mass-market domination. And it's a glimpse into how the next decade of transportation will be shaped. But the most surprising part? The story is still unfolding, and the next move could shock everyone watching. The next few years could be the most dramatic chapter in the auto industry's history. Tesla isn't giving up, but BYD isn't slowing down either. Both companies are playing a high-stakes chess game, and every move could shift the balance of power. For Tesla, the roadmap is clear: launch the affordable $25,000 model, expand global production, and push its self-driving tech to the finish line. If Musk delivers on even two of these, Tesla could hold its crown a little longer. For BYD, the mission is scale. They're already outselling Tesla in total vehicle volume, but now they want to dominate outside China. If they succeed in Europe and Latin America, the days of Tesla being the face of EVs might come to an end. And here's the twist: some analysts believe this rivalry won't end with one winner. Instead, it could reshape the auto industry into something completely new, with partnerships, mergers, and surprising alliances nobody sees coming. Because if there's one thing we've learned from Tesla and BYD, it's this: the future of cars isn't predictable. It's disruptive, it's chaotic, and it moves faster than anyone expects. But one question still remains: when the dust settles, who will be driving the future, Musk or BYD? If you think BYD's fifth-generation DMI system is impressive, wait until you hear about the Blade battery powering it. This isn't just another lithium-ion battery, it's a complete redesign that changes everything we thought we knew about EV safety and efficiency. Unlike traditional batteries, which are often bulky, heavy, and prone to overheating, BYD's Blade battery is slim, long, and incredibly dense. Its unique design allows for more energy storage in a smaller space, which means cars can go farther without adding weight. But the real game changer? Safety. In crash tests that would normally spark fires in other batteries, the Blade battery remains stable. No explosions, no smoke, no sudden shutdowns. And it's not just safe, it's built to last decades, maintaining its performance far longer than traditional alternatives. That durability makes BYD hybrids and EVs cheaper to maintain over time, something Tesla and other automakers still struggle to match in affordability. This battery also plays a huge role in range and efficiency. Combined with the DMI hybrid engine, it allows cars to achieve over 2,100 kilometers on a single charge and tank, something that would be impossible with conventional battery tech. Simply put, the Blade battery isn't just a feature, it's BYD's secret weapon, quietly giving them an edge that could redefine the global EV market. But batteries alone don't win races. BYD's real edge comes from how all this tech works together. BYD isn't just competing on range and price, they're rewriting the tech playbook for hybrids. Their cars are packed with smart features that make driving easier, safer, and more futuristic than many fully electric competitors. Take LiDAR-assisted navigation, LAR, and Urban Navigate on autopilot, NOA, for example. These systems allow the car to handle city streets almost entirely on its own, managing traffic lights, pedestrians, and stop signs with minimal input from the driver. In other words, you could cruise through rush hour traffic while the car does most of the work. Features like these used to be reserved for luxury EVs costing twice as much, but BYD is bringing them to hybrids priced under $20,000. Then there are silicon carbide power chips, which help the DMI hybrid system run more efficiently while reducing energy loss. This tech, usually found in high-end EVs, boosts performance without driving up costs. And combined with the Blade battery, it ensures that BYD's cars aren't just smart, they're also reliable, long-lasting, and powerful. BYD's approach is clear: make advanced EV technology accessible, practical, and affordable. And when drivers experience it firsthand, it's hard not to see why these cars are starting to steal market share from Tesla, Toyota, and even Volkswagen. But technology alone isn't enough. BYD has also focused on performance that shocks anyone used to traditional hybrids. When people think of hybrids, they often imagine slow, eco-only cars. BYD is flipping that stereotype on its head. Their fifth-generation DMI system doesn't just save fuel, it delivers real performance that can rival Tesla, Toyota, and even some sports cars. Take the BYD Seal 07 DMI SUV. This beast goes from 0 to 100 km per hour in just 4.7 seconds. Numbers that make it faster than many traditional gas-powered SUVs. And it's not just about speed. The handling is smooth, the acceleration seamless, and the ride surprisingly quiet thanks to the electric motor's instant torque. Even smaller models, like the Seal 05 DMI, offer up to 90 kilometers of pure electric driving. That's more than enough for a day of city commuting without touching a drop of fuel. Combine that with the 1.5-liter turbo engine, and you get a car that's efficient, fast, and ready for any road trip. Real-world tests have shown that BYD's hybrids often outperform competitors in both fuel efficiency and overall driving experience. While Tesla dominates the EV hype, BYD is quietly proving that a hybrid can be powerful, stylish, and practical all at once. And yet, performance isn't the only reason people are flocking to these cars, it's also about affordability and accessibility. One of BYD's most disruptive moves isn't just technology, it's pricing. While Tesla sells EVs that cost tens of thousands of dollars, BYD is putting advanced hybrids into the hands of everyday drivers. The Seal 05 DMI, for instance, starts at just $12,250 in China, making it cheaper than many traditional petrol cars. But affordability doesn't mean compromise. These cars still offer over 2,000 kilometers of range, advanced autopilot features, and the safety and reliability of the Blade battery. In other words, you're getting a high-tech, long-range vehicle for the price of a standard compact car. Government incentives amplify the effect. In countries like China and parts of Europe, subsidies and tax breaks make these hybrids even more accessible. Families, first-time car buyers, and budget-conscious drivers suddenly have a green, practical option that wasn't available before. Hybrids like the DMI aren't just a bridge between gas and electric, they're a stepping stone for mass adoption. People who might hesitate to buy a full EV because of price or infrastructure can now experience electric driving without the fear of running out of battery. By making green technology affordable and practical, BYD is changing the rules of the EV market, proving that innovation doesn't have to come with a luxury price tag. Next, we'll explore how BYD is taking this strategy global with factories and distribution. BYD isn't just selling cars, it's building an empire. To compete globally, the company has strategically set up factories around the world, placing production close to the markets it wants to dominate. In Hungary and Turkey, BYD is producing vehicles for the European market, dodging import tariffs and reducing shipping costs. In Brazil and Thailand, Local plants allow them to reach growing markets in South America and Southeast Asia without waiting months for shipments from China. This global network gives BYD a speed and flexibility advantage that Tesla struggles to match, since Musk relies heavily on centralized production in the US, China, and Germany. Local manufacturing isn't just about costs, it's about adaptation. Each factory can tweak cars to meet local regulations, climate challenges, and consumer preferences. That means European drivers get models suited for their roads, while Southeast Asian buyers receive vehicles optimized for heat, humidity, and city traffic. And the scale is massive. BYD sold 4.27 million new energy vehicles in 2024, grabbing 32% of China's market and now exporting to over 95 countries. That kind of reach is reshaping the global EV and hybrid landscape. By producing close to its customers, BYD isn't just selling cars, it's changing the rules of global competition, forcing Tesla and traditional automakers to rethink their strategies. Next, we'll dive into Tesla's response to this growing pressure. Tesla has dominated the EV conversation for years, but 2025 is proving to be a turning point. Elon Musk is facing pressure from BYD's global expansion, affordable hybrids, and cutting-edge technology, and it's forcing Tesla to rethink its approach. One challenge is pricing. Tesla's models, like the Model 3 and Model Y, remain far more expensive than BYD's hybrids. While BYD sells cars under $15,000 with advanced features, Tesla is still relying on high-end EVs costing tens of thousands more. Musk's promise of a $25,000 Tesla is ambitious, but delays and production bottlenecks make it unclear when this car will hit the market. Then there's the product lineup. Tesla's current models haven't seen major updates in years. Meanwhile, BYD is launching fresh, stylish hybrids that appeal to both budget-conscious and tech-savvy drivers. Tesla's focus on full EVs and autonomous taxis is exciting, but it leaves gaps in the market that BYD is now filling. Finally, Tesla's production strategy is facing strain. Musk is expanding gigafactories in Mexico, Germany, and potentially India, but BYD's localized factories give them a speed and flexibility Tesla struggles to match. BYD can tweak cars for regional needs, dodge tariffs, and get vehicles to customers faster, giving Tesla a real run for its money. In short, Tesla's strategy is under scrutiny, and Musk will need bold moves to maintain dominance. But there's another layer to this battle that could tip the scales: politics and global trade wars. The battle between Tesla and BYD isn't just about cars, it's about global politics and trade. BYD's low-cost, high-tech vehicles are shaking markets worldwide, and some countries aren't taking it lightly. The United States, for instance, slapped a 100% tariff on Chinese passenger cars. That means BYD's models would suddenly double in price, making them almost impossible to sell in the US market. Meanwhile, the European Union imposed tariffs of up to 17.4%, forcing BYD to find clever ways to maintain competitiveness, like building local factories in Hungary and Turkey. These tariffs aren't random. Many governments fear that cheap, subsidized Chinese cars could threaten domestic automakers. In China, BYD received substantial support, $2.1 billion in subsidies in 2022 alone, allowing them to keep prices low while investing heavily in innovation. That kind of backing makes competitors nervous and regulators cautious. But politics isn't all bad for BYD. By producing cars locally, they can avoid some trade barriers and respond faster to market demands, turning potential obstacles into strategic advantages. Tesla, on the other hand, faces public backlash in Europe due to Musk's political ties and protests at dealerships, a problem BYD doesn't have yet. The lesson? In the EV race, cars alone don't decide winners. Geopolitics, tariffs, and government support play just as big a role, and BYD is learning to use that to its advantage. The EV revolution isn't just about technology or price, it's about what people actually want. And right now, the trend is clear: hybrids are stealing the spotlight. In regions where charging stations are scarce, think parts of Southeast Asia, Latin America, and rural Europe, drivers are hesitant to commit to full EVs. BYD's hybrids, with over 2,000 kilometers of combined range, solve this problem. People get the green benefits of electric driving without the fear of being stranded. Even in the United States, surveys show a shift. A 2025 Gallup poll found that 55% of Republicans preferred hybrids over fully electric cars, compared to just 31% for EVs. That's a massive consumer base that Tesla's fully electric lineup struggles to capture. Meanwhile, younger drivers and first-time buyers are flocking to affordable tech-packed hybrids like BYD's Seal 05 DMI. These cars give them smart features, autopilot capabilities, and eco-friendly driving at a price they can actually afford, a combination that traditional EVs and even Tesla can't always match. The market is clear. People want practical, reliable, and affordable electric options, and BYD is delivering exactly that. And as more drivers make the switch, it's forcing Tesla and other EV makers to adapt or risk losing ground. BYD's hybrids aren't just winning on performance or affordability, they're making a real difference for the planet. By combining electric motors with efficient petrol engines, these vehicles cut fuel consumption dramatically, reducing carbon emissions compared to traditional cars. For instance, the fifth-generation DMI system consumes only 2.9 liters of fuel per 100 kilometers when the battery runs low. That's a fraction of what most gasoline cars use, translating into fewer emissions and less environmental strain. And with a range of over 2,100 kilometers on a full charge and tank, these cars encourage drivers to use electric power as much as possible, maximizing green benefits. In regions where electricity is still partially coal-powered, full EVs may not always be as eco-friendly. BYD's hybrid approach balances practicality and environmental impact, making it a greener choice for more people worldwide. As more drivers adopt hybrids, there's a ripple effect: fewer gas cars on the road, reduced dependence on fossil fuels, and increased demand for sustainable infrastructure. Governments and businesses are responding, expanding charging networks and incentives, creating a cycle that accelerates the shift to greener transportation. But BYD isn't invincible. Even with all these advantages, the company faces challenges that could slow its global growth. Even a powerhouse like BYD faces hurdles. Expanding globally isn't simple, and several obstacles could slow its momentum. First, there are tariffs and trade barriers. While BYD's factories in Europe, Brazil, and Thailand help, some countries still impose taxes or import duties that make cars less competitive. For example, the US 100% tariff effectively blocks BYD from selling passenger cars there, limiting its ability to penetrate the world's largest EV market. Then there's brand recognition. Outside of Asia, many consumers are unfamiliar with BYD. Convincing drivers to trust a relatively new brand, even with advanced tech and low prices, takes time. Tesla, Hyundai, and Volkswagen still have decades of reputation built up, giving them an edge in markets like Europe and the Americas. Competition isn't standing still either. Traditional automakers are aggressively rolling out their own hybrids and EVs, often leveraging established dealer networks and customer loyalty. In some regions, government incentives favor local manufacturers, making it trickier for BYD to compete on price alone. Logistics is another challenge. Shipping cars, parts, and batteries globally while maintaining quality and efficiency is a massive undertaking. Even with localized factories, scaling production while avoiding delays requires precision. Yet, despite these challenges, BYD's innovation, pricing strategy, and hybrid technology keep it moving forward. The company has proven it can navigate complex markets, adapt quickly, and continue pushing boundaries, but the road ahead is far from easy. The next decade could redefine the entire automotive industry. BYD's rise, Tesla's innovations, and the influx of traditional automakers into EVs and hybrids are creating a market that's more competitive than ever. One clear trend is that hybrids are here to stay. They offer the best of both worlds: electric efficiency with petrol backup, making them ideal for regions where charging infrastructure is still developing. BYD's DMI 5.0 system has shown that hybrids can be affordable, practical, and green, accelerating adoption worldwide. Full EVs will continue to grow, but the bar for value and tech is rising. Consumers now expect long range, fast charging, and smart features, all at a competitive price. BYD has set a new benchmark that rivals must meet or exceed, forcing Tesla, Volkswagen, Hyundai, and others to innovate faster than ever. Global politics will also shape the market. Trade wars, tariffs, and subsidies could tilt competition, favoring companies that can adapt production locally and respond to regional regulations. BYD's factories in Hungary, Brazil, Turkey, and Thailand give them a head start in navigating these complexities. Finally, consumer behavior is evolving. Buyers are more eco-conscious, budget-minded, and tech-savvy than ever. They want cars that are green, affordable, and packed with smart features. Companies that ignore this reality risk losing market share, a reality Tesla is feeling as BYD gains traction globally. The future of EVs and hybrids isn't just about cars, it's about technology, affordability, geopolitics, and consumer choice. The next few years will decide who dominates this new era, and one thing is certain: the race is only getting faster. BYD's rise isn't just a story about cars, it's a story about innovation, strategy, and vision. From the fifth-generation DMI hybrid system to the revolutionary Blade battery, BYD has shown the world that you can combine performance, efficiency, affordability, and safety in ways that were once thought impossible. The company's global expansion, with factories strategically placed in Europe, South America, and Southeast Asia, shows that BYD isn't just thinking locally, it's playing a long-term, international game. By producing cars close to key markets, they can dodge tariffs, respond faster to consumer demand, and adapt vehicles for regional needs. At the same time, Tesla faces unprecedented challenges. Aging models, delayed releases, pricing issues, and political controversies have given competitors like BYD a chance to gain ground. Traditional automakers, from Hyundai to Volkswagen, are investing heavily in EVs and hybrids, creating a crowded, competitive landscape. For consumers, this is good news. Affordable hybrids with cutting-edge tech, long range, and real-world practicality are now within reach for millions of drivers. Whether it's BYD's Seal 07 DMI handling city streets on autopilot, the Seal 05 DMI zipping through urban roads with minimal fuel use, or the Tang DMI SUV offering space and performance, the options have never been better. Environmentally, hybrids are proving that you don't need to wait for full EV adoption to make an impact. By reducing fuel consumption and emissions while remaining practical for everyday use, BYD is helping accelerate the world's transition to sustainable transportation. The global EV and hybrid race is no longer a two-player game. BYD, Tesla, and traditional car makers are all vying for the same customers, but with different strategies. Some focus on affordability, others on technology, while politics and trade policies play a hidden but powerful role. What's clear is this: the next few years will define the future of driving. BYD has proven that hybrids can be powerful, accessible, and green, forcing every competitor to step up. Tesla still has brand loyalty, advanced tech, and a head start in the fully electric market, but the pressure is mounting. For drivers, investors, and tech enthusiasts, the message is simple: the EV revolution is accelerating, and hybrids are taking the spotlight. The roads ahead are filled with innovation, competition, and unprecedented choice. Whether you're a fan of speed, technology, affordability, or sustainability, there's never been a more exciting time to watch the automotive world evolve. So, what do you think? Will BYD continue its meteoric rise and redefine global EVs? Can Tesla reclaim its dominance? Or is the hybrid revolution the future we've all been waiting for? Share your thoughts in the comments, hit that like button if you learned something new, and subscribe to stay updated on the cars shaping our future.